Hello everyone, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those who watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. Also appreciate those of you who subscribe. I hope you enjoy the movie as well, or the review as well, I should say. Today we talk about the Hoosiers, starring Gene Hackman, the late, great Gene Hackman. I was sad to hear of his passing away, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to watch a movie that he starred in, and why not watch the Hoosiers? Mainly because I am from Indiana and I'm from the hometown that the losing team of the movie at the end is in. The losing team was actually from Muncie, Indiana. They have 8 state championships, which is at the time, at one time, it was the most basketball state championships in the state, especially when they only have one big tournament. Now that they got class championships, I believe they're tied with another high school. But I went to the crosstown rival. And every time we would go to the big field house that holds 8,000 people in my town, they had all their banners up there. And seeing that missing banner of that Milan, which is Old Hickory here, beat them, I always brought a smile to my face. They were kind of a powerhouse back then, by the way. Central was. They won 2 championships back to back, like 51, 52, and then didn't win one in 53, and then Milan beat them in 54, so they were a good school. So let's get into this. Before we really get into the movie, historically accurately, the movie is not very accurate about the Milan or Old Hickory team whatsoever. That team was actually really good the previous year. They went very far in the state championship, state tournament. I think they made it to like the semifinals before they got beat, and they had all their starters returning. So it was actually pretty good. And from what I've understand, they beat Oscar Robertson on the way to the state finals that year. The big old Oscar Robertson, probably the greatest high school basketball player ever to come out of Indiana. And that is including Larry Bird and Shaw Kemp and those types. He's just like really a legend. But what the movie does get right is the atmosphere of Indiana high school basketball, where a whole town would just get up and go follow the high school team to another town to watch them play. I remember even in the 80s when I was young, our crosstown rivals, their Muncie Central, went to the regionals, which was a 30-minute drive, and we were part of a large caravan going to see them play in Newcastle, Indiana, which is the home of the largest high school field house in the country. So you see that is very how popular high school basketball really was up to the 80s. Actually, it really kind of started dying down a little bit in the 90s before they went to the class basketball. I haven't been to a high school game, in probably about 20 years. From about 20 years, probably, maybe 18 years. But yes, so they do get the atmosphere of Indiana basketball right in this movie. Also, the gym, how it looks like all the stands are kind of high up like that. Like, you got the court and then got like a wall and then the stands. That is how the basketball courts were back there. Even our field house, which holds 8,000 people, was built in like it's about 100 years old. I think more than 100 years old now. It even has that little wall there, but now they have like bleachers that goes from the wall down. But so like that's just how they build them, stuff like that. So when Gene Hackman's character says, you got us playing like this penitentiary called a gym or something like that, that's how they were back then. That's how they built the gyms back there in the old days. So let's get into the movie. Enough about the history of Indiana basketball. Let's get into the movie. Thank you for your patience. But yeah, let's get into it. So Gene Hackman does a marvelous job playing the coach. Like sometimes I do like 2 or 3 seconds of research of what I read. He did not want to be part of this movie after he signed. He just was miserable, I guess. He made everybody's life miserable, kind of like Bill Murray's made everybody's life miserable in Groundhog Day. Gene Hackman really made everybody's life miserable on set during this movie. He didn't want to do it, I guess. He didn't think this movie was going to be a big hit. But once he saw the final cut, he was very impressed with it. And for somebody who didn't want to be a part of the movie after he signed on to it and didn't like it, he does, like I said, a marvelous job as the coach of this team. And one thing I think the writers did very well was like the strategy that he presents to his team actually makes kind of sense. You know, you might think, well, they have to pass the ball 4 times before he shoots it. Well, I guess what he's trying to install into the kids is ball control, because in this one, they're kind of like the weaker school, you know, they're underdogs, so it's important for them to be able to control the ball, control the tempo of the game. So, like, all his strategy does make sense and sound. So, you know, and plus, Gene Hackman, like I said, does a marvelous performance being the coach. Then you got the great Dennis Hopper in this movie as well, playing the town drunkard, you know, and he does a great job. Dennis Hopper is probably, I don't know if I could say he's what would you call it? Not underappreciated, but kind of like doesn't get the recognition that he should get, because in the movies he does really stand out in the movies that he's in. He's definitely never a low light. At least the movies I've seen him in, I never think Dennis Hopper is the low light of the movie that he's in. He usually holds his own and sometimes shines. In this movie, he does shine right there with Gene Hackman. Both of them do great. He might even be a little bit above Gene Hackman in his performance, but they're definitely really close together. Both put in terrific performances, and so does all the other side characters in this movie as well. They all pull their weight together, and they make a marvelous movie. And it's just fantastic, especially like high school basketball, like sports movies. This is right up there. You know, the sports movies always have to be like the underdog. I don't know any movie. I'm trying to think of any movie where it's about like a movie about the ones who are supposed to win it. You know, not the underdogs, but the overdogs. Just kidding. But, you know, the ones who are supposed to win it. I can't think of any movie like that. Maybe if you have a movie that's based upon, like, the team that's dominant and is supposed to win it, let me know, because I can't think of any movie. It's always the movies about underdogs and shining through and either winning it at the end or coming close to winning it. Great basketball scenes in this one. I did a review about Teen Wolf and how they always reuse the same shots over and over again. This movie... every shot is like a fresh, you know. I think there is some where they kind of reuse footage, but from different angles. But it's just, you know, like special place and not overdone like the Teen Wolf movie. So the basketball is really great. I mean, you really feel like you're part of the game, of the crowd. They really do capture. You really get sucked into this universe, this world that the director is creating and the writers created. Just a fantastic movie overall. Look at my notes here. Let's see, make sure there's nothing more I want to add. So you haven't checked this one. If you've ever seen Hoosiers, highly recommend it. You're going to enjoy it. If you're a basketball fan, you're going to like it. If you just like a good movie that has great drama in it, it's this one's for you. I think it's just a great movie all around. Fantastically done. And hopefully you enjoyed this review. Hopefully it was fantastically done as well. And you'll be back for other reviews. Have a great day. And until next time, bye.